When it comes to creating content for your social platforms that involves tracking you as you're walking through an area or you're cooking in your kitchen, you're moving around and you need that camera to follow you as you are creating content, you want to make sure that you have one of two things. Either an app and device that will track your movements or that Instagram TikTok spouse. Now, if you do not have somebody helping you, I found a couple of different opportunities that you can be working with devices connected to apps to control exactly what you want to create when you are making your videos. And in the next couple of videos, we are going to be breaking down the technology you can be using to level up what you're doing inside of your live streaming, inside of your content creation, inside of your social media platforms to make sure you're getting the exact right content for gaining new followers and developing that sense of community and conversation with the people. So in this tech video today, we're talking about the PIVO. This is a really cool device that allows you to screw it onto a tripod base, or you can set it directly on a table, and it spins 360. So what happens is you take your phone and you're actually going to put it inside of the holder, and this does not come with the holder. This is something I purchased separately from the company, and it is part of some of the starter packs, and you can just connect your phone to it, and then it will record. All you have to do is decide if you're going to use facial tracking or body tracking. Now, this was actually designed for things like horse shows. So it actually has a system and a mode for you to be able to track horses as they're jumping or running through the arena. They're working on dog tracking right now, and then they've got people tracking. So you can decide it's going to track your face, which does some very interesting things if you're moving farther away or closer to it. And you can also do body tracking. So as you're walking around your kitchen doing your cooking show, you're good to go. Or if you are kind of moving around an area, it will follow you as well. So you can use this to kind of create that content that follows you through a bookstore and around to do the different things. You kind of have to get a little creative with it, but it allows you to do that, as well as things like showing off your desk space and kind of walking around your office to show different areas. So this is a really interesting little device, and I've learned things that work and do not work for it. But first, let's take a look at what happens when you record with it.
Once you've downloaded the app and connected it to your device, all you have to do is decide which version of tracking you're going to be using. In this version, I am using body tracking, and you can see as I am moving, my device is now moving and following me as I spin around, and this can go a full 360 as it is spinning, which is really nice. Now, it's a little bit on the slow side, so you do have to move slowly for it to keep up, but you've got a lot of great options. Now, once you stop your recording, it does save directly to your phone, but you can also access it within the app. And this is what it looks like when you are using the facial tracking. So it always gives you that really great countdown, and then it's going to move with you as you are moving. So this time, instead of latching onto your body, it's going to focus on your face and move along with you as you're moving throughout the course of the room. Now here's the interesting part. As you step away with facial tracking, it's actually going to zoom into you, and as you step closer, it's going to pull further back to make sure your face stays in frame and doesn't get cut off as you're moving around the room. And again, all of these video clips are going to save to your phone's camera roll as well as stay inside of the app for you to access. Now, the app also does give you access to really cool functions and features that allow you to decide if you're going to be the focus or if it's going to have you and something else in focus on screen. And if these don't fit your settings, you can actually create your own inside the app so that you don't accidentally cut anything off while you're working.
So as you can see with the device, the first thing you have to do is actually turn it on. So there's a little button that you're going to be able to hold down, and it is going to go ahead and beep and blink when it's ready to go. This is something you can charge actually through a cord. So all you have to do is plug it in to charge it and you're good to go. And then it will connect to your phone. So you just have to download the app and then it will sync up with your device. At which point you're going to be able to make some selections. So you can decide facial or body tracking. You can also decide if it's going to be animal tracking or things like that as well. And you then have the ability to decide where you're going to be filming or how you're going to be filming. Now, this is going to be stationary in that you have it on a table or you have it on a tripod. So it can't actually follow you around a corner in a bookstore, but you do have the ability to do a 360 loop. So if you set it on a table, you can actually walk around that library table all the way and it will show everything in the background for you. Now, if you were watching that video before, you're going to notice that some of it is a little bit hard. Their zooming is definitely kind of glitchy. I don't recommend, if you're on the facial tracking, that you're moving farther or more closer toward the camera. I recommend you stay relatively at the same plane because it's a little problematic with that zoom. And we do have it a little bit on the slow side for that tracking, so you have to go at a slower rate as you're moving around. Otherwise, you have to be aware it will cut you off a little bit and then it will catch up to you. So as long as you're okay with being off camera for a second and it catching up, you're fine. Otherwise, you have to intentionally move slow enough for it to be following you. And remember, depending on how it's tracking, it's going to move differently. So if it's tracking your face and you're walking around that kitchen to go get the thing that you're cooking with, make sure you're facing the camera, because if you turn away from it, it's going to lose you and it's going to struggle a little bit to keep up. So you will have to play with this. I do recommend testing it out first and getting to know its quirks and what works and what doesn't before you jump into using it for what you're actually doing. Now, inside of their app, they have a lot of different avenues. You can use it for certain live streaming things, but not necessarily all live streaming things. So you want to make sure that you actually look at it, you study it, see if it's going to work for you. But this is a pretty good device for doing content on your own. So I would use this for Instagram Reels, I would use this for TikToks, and I would use it in a way that's stationary, but I could walk around my room or walk around the office or kind of walk into a room and have it kind of track me as I'm going. This is really great when you don't have anybody to help you out. Again, you have to weigh out those quirks and those flaws with the positive sides of things as well. And if you've got questions on this, go ahead and let me know down below. We're going to talk more about technology in the upcoming episodes, including a really amazing gimbal for your phone. So as you're out and about, you can do this, but in a different way, and also a similar way. We're going to break it all down in the next one. So hit that subscribe and notification bell, and I've got all the tech we're talking about in these videos linked down below, plus some extra things that will help you level up when it comes to your content creation, your social media interactions with your fans. So if you've got questions on any of these or any of the social platforms, drop them down below, and I will see you in the next tech overview so we can talk all about how these tech pieces are going to work for you to help you level up your business.